We're doing the connection dance, waiting for things to start streaming.
Are we live?
It looks like we are.
I don't see ourselves. I guess we are live. So can you click it just to see if we are live?
Yeah.
Okay,
There
here
we
we
go.
go. Here we go. I think we are live.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Once again, things seem to be working. Aloha, everybody, and welcome to this live from Lemuria
Aloha.
broadcast. I'm David.
I'm Mamiko.
We are co-founders of Lemurian Healing, and between the two of us, we've been talking and teaching about Lemuria for more than 20 years. So it's a pleasure to be with you and just share Lemurian related things with you today. If you're just joining us, please go into the chat and let us know where you're from. Aloha Bonnie from Pennsylvania and Candace from California. So great to have you here.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here live. We know a lot of people can't join us during these live broadcasts, but that's okay because this is our opportunity to share with you things that we normally don't get a chance to talk about in our shorter videos. But this will be posted so that those of you who want to watch the recording, this one will be worth watching. Today we're going to be talking about Lemurian New Year, which we celebrate on November 11th. And not because not because of the human calendar. It's about the numerology, about 1111. So we're going to get into that a little bit today, as well as the numerology of the coming year, 2025. And Mamiko and I have been talking about it, and it's going to be an interesting year. Aloha, Cheryl from Melbourne. Lorena, aloha, thanks for joining us. Alex from Canada. Bill from British Columbia, very close to our friends at White Lotus. Aloha, Larissa from Washington. Lorena's from Ocean Grove, Australia. Oh, nice. We've got some folks joining us early morning in Australia.
Yes, it is, yeah.
And Soul-Centered Photography is here from Wisconsin. So nice to have you here. Aloha, Martin from Brisbane. Nice to have you here.
Thank you for joining us.
So every year we celebrate Lemurian New Year at this time. And we can't really talk about Lemurian New Year without talking about the Lemurian Council of the Blue Rose. Now, if you haven't heard of this council before, this was a council that came together near the end of Lemurian times because we knew that things were wrapping up, that the entire arc of Lemurian evolutionary experience was going to come to a close. And so there were many groups that got together to start preparing not only for the end, but also looking forward to the future. Because it wasn't just about endings, it was about new beginnings. So some councils were responsible for encapsulating Lemurian wisdom and knowledge and experience into etheric records that could be accessed in the future. And the Lemurian Council of the Blue Rose had a very special responsibility because they knew at some time in the future, meaning these times that we're living in, they knew at some time in the future that many of us would want to reincarnate into human form and remember Lemuria and reconnect with Lemuria and tap into that Lemurian wisdom that we all gathered during our lifetimes there. So they were kind of looking way forward. And one of the symbols they sent forward into the future to help us awaken and remember was the symbol of the Lemurian blue rose, which is just this gorgeous multidimensional symbol that can trigger spiritual awakening and open your Lemurian heart. It's a really powerful symbol. And if you've seen a blue rose in the last few years, there's a reason for that. But this council also set into the future another powerful symbol to help us awaken spiritually and remember Lemuria. Can you guess what that is?
No, tell us.
It's the number 1111, the 4 ones. I mean, for the last 25, maybe even 30 years, people have been seeing that number over and over again, a repeating pattern. It's like, I keep seeing this number, 1111, 1111. Well, that was one of the symbols that the Lemurian Council of the Blue Rose sent into the future so that at this time, we would start seeing it, we would start attracting it, and it would trigger spiritual awakening. Lorena is saying goosebumps about hearing about the Blue Rose. Oh, aloha, Susie from Germany. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Julie from Devon in the UK. Wow, we've got a nice international group here today and a lot of folks in Australia. Thanks for waking up early.
And also Europe too.
Yeah, we've got some people staying up late in Europe. So nice to have you here. So those two symbols, the Blue Rose and 1111, are two of those symbols that the Lemurian Council of the Blue Rose was responsible for creating and sending into the future for us to benefit from. And so overall, the Blue Council is still here and active, in a way helping to guide the awakening of humanity to a new level of awareness. So they're in the background, kind of helping to all push us forward, but in a gentle, loving way, as we remember Lemuria, as we reconnect, as we, awaken to more of who we truly are and remembering, okay, why did I choose to come into this lifetime in the first place? So if you've never heard about the Lemurian Council of the Blue Rose, now you have, excuse me, and try connecting with them in meditation. In the event that I'm doing live on Sunday, November 10th in North America and Europe, Monday in Asia, Australia, I'm doing 11/11 Lemurian New Year activation ceremony. So we're going to be connecting with the Lemurian Council of the Blue Rose in that ceremony, but you can try to connect with them on your own. But let's talk a little bit about the number 1111.
Okay, let's
So,
do it.
What does that number represent for you?
For me, I'm just gonna say it's like one of them. There are many, but one of them is our four represent our four bodies.
Right, our 4 energy bodies,
Well, energy body.
So that means physical, emotional, mental,
and
spiritual, which is something we teach at the core of Lemurian healing, is that we have these 4 energy bodies, right? So it is a representation of those 4 bodies.
Yes.
Also, it represents the 4 elements.
Right, 4 elements, right.
Air, fire, water, and earth. And does that mean it's also connected with goddesses?
Of course.
Of course. Well, this is why we're talking about 1111, because it's not just a number. There's meaning behind it. There's depth. One of the reasons why it is a trigger for awakening. So it represents the 4 elements, air, fire, water, and earth. And I'm assuming it represents the 4 Lemurian goddesses associated with those. And Lemurian goddess temples as well?
Not really temple,
but the goddesses.
For me, 1111 is also represent portal for higher dimension.
Right. So this time of year, when we focus, especially on November 11th, when we focus on that number, it can become a portal into different dimensions, but also into the future.
Right.
So we just want to give a little bit of background that 11/11 is not just some kind of random day on the calendar. There's a meaning to it for those of us who are connected with Lemuria. And every year, more and more people see this number for the first time and awaken spiritually. So that's why we're celebrating New Year. And again, I'm doing this special ceremony and activation on the 10th so that we can take advantage of that 11/11 portal and really start to send energy into the new year, send our intention into the new year, and start manifesting what we want.
So can I just add one more
Sure.
thing? So for us, November 11th is a Lemurian New Year. So for me, last more than 10 years, November 11th is the beginning of the new year. So in a way, I feel 2025 already happening November 11th.
Right,
So
that
right
energy.
now for me is, today is November 7th here in Hawaii. So next 4 days is a preparation day for me, how I will go through into the new 11/11 portal, which is a doorway of the new year.
Right. So that new year energy starts on Monday the 11th.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a good point, because this is a perfect preparation period, getting ready to take advantage of that energy, but already thinking about what's coming in the next cycle.
Yeah, so I have been talking with my guides, Lemurian goddesses, last 2 weeks. They were really specific about how to prepare me to go through this portal, because this time, numerologically, 2024 through 2025 is a really important time for next 10 years.
Right. So the numerology of 2025 is a 9. You add up the digits and you get a 9. And according to Lemurian numerology, a 9 is all about completion. It's about completion of cycles, phases. It's a completion of learning things at a certain level so that you're now ready to move to the next level. So that's the big theme coming up in 2025. It's the end of a 9-year cycle. And the theme is completion.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about completion. It's not just the dead end, the end of something. Completion always means things move to the next level. So once you complete a cycle at a certain level, then you move to the next level and the cycle begins again. So it's also about getting ready for new beginnings and knowing that that's coming. But we've both been getting messages from our guides, Mamiko from her goddesses, about 2025. So can you share a little bit more about why 2025 is so important in this cycle, but also Lemurian New Year?
So with Lemurian numerology, we talk about 7-year cycle or sometimes 9-year cycle. But 9-year cycle is a main thing. So next year, 2025, is a 9th year, meaning the end of the cycle. And 2026 is number 1 year. So that's the beginning of the 9-year cycle. So that means how we spend the next year and how we complete next year will really affect how we can start new 9-year cycle in 2026. So in a way, currently right now can affect our next 10 years. So
that's kind of big.
It is big.
So whatever we do now and get ready for 11/11.
And can I just share more?
Sure.
Especially current 9 years, we went through such a difficulty. We all went pandemic together for like 3 years or 4 years.
Yeah.
That's huge for us. And so that really shifted our energy, and we all went through so many changes. So in a way, so many of us or the society is still affected. So it is the time, 2025, how much we can heal ourselves and how much we bring balance to ourselves. Once again, what do we need to let go from this 9-year cycle so we can start new 9-year cycle, 2026, fresh and healed and balanced and aligned with our spirit.
Thanks for sharing that, because it gives a little bit more perspective that we're not only setting our intention for this new year, but basically what we choose to do, how we choose to focus is going to basically affect the next 10 years.
Yes.
Okay. So
everything connected.
yeah.
Right? I mean, that doesn't mean if you don't live well next year, your next 10 years will be,
Miserable.
miserable. It's not, no, you always set the, how you reset your course. However, because energy is a momentum, and every year there is a theme and energy, so it's much easier to align with the energy and use that energy for your advantage. Is that
Yeah,
good
yeah.
English?
No, yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
Yeah, for your advantage. So right now is we are going into the completion year. So what kind of healing do I want to complete for myself? What kind of balance do I want to bring to myself? What kind of limitation do I want to let go
Right.
next year so I can live next 9 year cycle? So that's what I've been just meditating and talking with my goddesses last 1 week or 2 weeks, because we are really preparing. When I say we, because I represent my Lemurian goddesses, how I perform on this earth plane is connected with
Hmm.
their mission, my goddess's mission. So we have been really prepared.
Thanks for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
And it even makes us think a little bit more seriously about 2025, that, okay, this is a time to kind of look back over the last 8 or 9 years and say, okay, what have I learned? What have I experienced?
Yes.
Where have, because we've all been evolving,
Yeah.
no matter the ups and downs, but we can consciously look at, okay, what do I want to bring to completion?
Race.
What do I need to learn a little bit more about, or what do I really need to examine in my life that I haven't kind of been ignoring, and really take a look at that and say, okay, how can I bring this to completion to kind of start that next cycle kind of on a clean new plateau and not with a lot of messy conflicting energies.
Yeah. So this current 9th cycle, everybody, like including me and you, there must be something we were aiming for. Well, we thought this is what I want to achieve. Did I achieve it? And if not, okay, there must be several things. I achieved this and I achieved this, but this one I couldn't. And so things has been missing, or things I have not achieved. And I have to ask myself, why didn't I achieve? Is this because I thought I don't want it anymore? Or did I think, oh, there is no hope for me?
Right, yeah.
I'm not worth enough.
Yeah, not worthy enough.
Worthy enough to do it. And if that's the case, my goddess is really telling me, you have to heal about it. If you think that's what you want, but you're not going for it because you are not worthy
You're not
enough
feeling worthy, yeah.
You're not feeling worthy for it. Are you okay with it? Do you want to complete this 9-year cycle feeling, I let it go because I'm not worthy for it? Are you happy with that attitude? So they were really talking to me like with that kind of tone, and I was thinking, okay, I really don't want to end this 9-year cycle, the things that I couldn't achieve because I was feeling I'm not worthy.
Or
to
maybe I
achieve
can't
it.
do it. Maybe,
Yeah,
maybe I'm
maybe-
not supposed to do this.
I'm not good enough.
Yeah,
Or I don't
not
have
good. Because we all
power.
have those things. But thank you for sharing that, because as we look back, and sometimes we look at incompletions or things we started and we didn't continue pursuing, it's okay if the new clarity is, you know what, in my heart of hearts, I really, really didn't want to do that.
Yeah, that's fine too.
I thought I was interested in it, but as I got into it, I realized, no, I'm really not passionate about this. That's totally okay. But if that's the case, let it go. Don't have that hanging around in the back of your mind thinking, well, I should have done this and I did it. It's like, no, your heart said, no, it was worth exploring, but No,
Yeah.
I've decided to do something else. It's okay.
That's fine too, because life is all about you try and find out, oh, I liked it, oh, I didn't like it, or oh, I didn't even want it.
Yeah, and there's no reason to carry that baggage into 2025, and definitely no reason to carry it into the next 9-year cycle. Nice. No, your goddesses, and I know your goddesses speak to you kind of in a very stern and direct way, but it's all loving.
Oh, of course.
I mean, they're not being critical. They're not like
no.
a scolding parent, right?
No, of course
But they
not.
can talk to you strongly because
we're connected.
yeah. So yeah. So when we share messages like this, they're always coming in love. We're not ever here sharing things that our guides are saying, this is what you're supposed to do. You have to do this. It's like, no, this is just guidance. And we all are free to take it or leave it.
That's true.
So my guides have been talking about 11/11 energetically and moving into the new year, that it is going to be, and already since they gave me the message a few weeks ago, they're still like this all around the world, right? There's all sorts of bumps and things and new chaos going on, all sorts of things. And they and my guide said, don't get too distracted by what's going on. What we need to do is look inside and really learn to follow our heart. I mean, it's now or never, because we know how important it is to follow our heart, our intuition. And from a Lemurian point of view, your heart is so much more than this organ in your chest, and even more than it being an energy chakra, right? From a Lemurian point of view, it's a multidimensional thing, this beautiful heart of yours. So my guides have saying, this is my new guides to the guardians, were saying, it's really time to practice listening to your heart and following your heart, because that's going to keep you on track.
That's true.
Everything else is pretty much can be a distraction if you allow it to be, but this is really the time to focus within. And even right before we went on live today, the Lemurian Council of the Blue Rose and my guardians, the guides, the guardians, they were saying, in this coming year, really think about slowing down, being deliberate, meaning being much more discerning and not so reactionary about what's going on in the world or even in your own life, but really practice being choosy. Like, what do I want to think about? What do I want to focus on? What does my heart really want that maybe I'm not listening to? That as we slow down, it's easier to listen. So their messages was basically practice slowing down, practice being more conscious, more deliberate, and that will allow you the space and kind of the serenity to actually hear your heart, because your heart has a very soft and subtle voice.
Right.
And if you've got strong emotions and you're reacting, you really can't listen closely. Oh, and one other thing, another big theme in 2025 my guides gave me was that trust is like the big word. And in a message I shared recently, they're saying trust like you've never trusted before, really meaning let go, stop trying to control and hold on to things so tightly that anytime that we kind of grip and get tense and hang on to things like, I don't want to lose this, I don't want to, we're moving into something I'm not comfortable with. The tighter you hold on, the more uncomfortable the journey is. And when you're tense and holding on and trying to control things, you're not allowing all that wisdom and inspiration and help from the universe, because the universe wants to give it all to you. Really does. But you have to relax and let it in. So completion, trust, and really following the path of the heart, those are the three big themes coming up in the new year. Nice. I like Lemurian New Year because we get to think about these things and focus on these things, before kind of the craziness that always happens at year end. There's holidays, different parts of the world, and Yeah, so a lot of people scrambling to get things done. But it's nice that
Before
that,
chaos.
we can have this kind of conversation.
Yeah, and focus on spiritual New Year, I guess, in a way.
Oh, I just remembered you did a card reading recently.
Yeah, for Japanese ladies.
So for your audience in Japan, you did a card reading. So
on YouTube.
yeah, but it was about the new year, right?
Yes, so I have a Japanese YouTube video, and I often do card reading for the viewers, and I did 1111 card message from the card of message from Lemuria.
Can you share a little bit what messages or themes came up?
Well, in a way, yes. It's quite tied with your message, but if I can add more.
Please.
2025 can be the year of hope. Meaning, whatever you felt that it's not coming for me anymore. It's or if you feel a little bit depressed about your life and nothing good is going to happen to me. My life is not going to change. I mean, it's kind of laughable, but it's really easy to get to the feeling.
Oh, right? I know. There's some parts of my life, sometimes those thoughts come up. You think, okay, if it hasn't happened by now, is it ever going to happen? Yeah.
So maybe you are not in that mode 100%. Maybe 50% you are optimistic about your life. But 50% you feel like, oh, my life is not going to change. It's going to be same. And it's not going to happen for me. And the message from Lemuria was saying, it's time to shift it. Oh, this came really strongly. 111. I forgot. How can I forget? They're saying this 1111 2025 is a chance to change your how do I say
trajectory.
Yes.
All right, so trajectory, you can change your trajectory in the new year.
So if any part of your life, if it's not going well, it's a chance to shift it and go better way. And also there's also saying it's a great time for your spiritual awakening. If you are attuned to the energy, if you are aligned with the energy, we will be much more multidimensional, and time and space you will really go beyond it
and kind of open up.
Up.
It's interesting you should say that, because just in the last 2 weeks I've started feeling that. And as soon as we shifted from October to November, I definitely felt like, okay, there's more of a multidimensional sensibility coming online, as some people I've talked to, or even online teaching. Like I'm teaching Lemurian healing these days online, and there's something about the group energy that feels a little bit multidimensional. That's so interesting.
So because of that, people like us who already be awakened, there is a chance we can go to the next level. And those people who has not been awakened but came down to this earth plane as a light worker, it's really time for them to wake up. And I think next year lots of new light worker will be born.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting goosebumps just with you sharing that, because I just got this feeling that there's going to be so many more people awakening in this next year, and that's definitely going to shift the collective consciousness for everyone.
Because the world needs it.
Yeah, the world does need it.
It's so chaotic everywhere in this world, and this chaos will, believe it or not, my goddess is saying this chaos will help people to wake up.
Yeah. Yeah, and that makes sense. As uncomfortable as it is,
Mm-hmm.
something has to kind of kick up the bottom of the pond and shift things for everything to start changing. So yeah, thank you. Those
welcome.
no, that nice messages from Lemuria and the card reading, and I like the word hope because sometimes it's easy to focus on
I know.
all the negative things, but also when you think, oh, these are all those sorts of things I want to change in my life, and it feels so daunting. But if we step back and we think, okay, there is time. This is a time for hope, and this is a time to trust. Like, stop worrying, and just
There is
trust.
hope.
There is hope.
Hope.
Excellent. Thank you, my love.
Thank you too.
So that's pretty much what we wanted to share today about 11/11 and our thoughts about the new year and some of the messages we've been getting for the new year, which for us starts this next week. If you're interested in joining me live here on YouTube for a private 11/11 Lemurian New Year activation ceremony, you can go to lemurianhealing.com/1111 and you can get details about the ceremony. You have to register for it. There is a nominal fee. Some people ask, why are you charging for something like this? And it's because the group energy is really important. And I only want people participating who are really there, feeling connected to Lemuria, really want to put their heart into this. So, I want to keep the group energy high vibrating. So, lemurianhealing.com/1111 will let you register for this Sunday's event. And even if you can't join me live, the recording is there. So you can follow the ceremony anytime from November 10th to 12th in your time zone. So there's this window of opportunity. So if you miss Sunday, that's okay. The recording is there for you. Also, there's something else I was going to share.
What is it?
Oh, the last thing I wanted to share is on November 21st,
November 21st. Okay.
we're going to be live again, and we're going to be doing some Lemurian healing, but we're going to do something a little bit different this time.
That's right. We're not going to do individual healing, but we are going to do collective healing.
Yeah, so this is something... Yeah.
Go ahead.
No,
Yeah,
please.
Sorry.
No. I talked so much.
No, I mean... Okay, so I will do So up until now, we were doing group healing for people who wanted to receive individually, but this time we decided to do healing for the group. Everybody wants to receive, and the theme is really wonderful. What is the theme, sweetheart?
Well, there's so many people that have strong feelings and emotions associated with the end of Lemuria. And so, and over the last 20 years, we've had so many people contact us about, how they felt or they remember the end. And for a lot of people, it feels kind of traumatic and sad. So anybody who's got a connection with Lemuria and who remembers the end, we want to help you heal that. Because there's no reason to carry any kind of sadness or heaviness with you anymore. We knew Lemuria was coming to an end, so we could mentally and emotionally prepare for it. But even though we knew it was coming, it was still sad because it was heaven on earth. And we really loved Lemuria and appreciated the fact that we had the chance to evolve in such a high vibration, but still be in physical form. So even if, you don't have super strong emotions about it, it still might be interesting for you to experience this healing about bringing completion to that experience and really healing anything that needs to be healed about the end of our Lemurian experience. So that's going to happen on November 21st.
Hawaii time, right? So for
22nd
folks in
Australia and Asia, that'll be
next day.
That'll be next day.
Next day of morning.
Yeah, so we'll send you details about that. But we thought that would be a nice, meaningful, something to do before the end of the calendar year, before the holidays, is to just do a collective healing. So mark that in your calendar if you want to join us for that. Everyone,
so much.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah,
Thank you for
thank
being
you so
here
much.
live. And for those of you watching the recording, your love and light is definitely involved and participating because time and space don't exist. So we feel your love and light here. But everyone from around the world, North America, Australia, we've got people in Europe. Thank you so
Also
much.
Canada.
And Canada's part of North America.
Oh, sorry about that.
But everyone, thank you so much
Thank
for spending this little bit of time with us. It's always
you.
great connecting with you, and the group energy makes it a lot easier for us to share. So
That's
we
right.
appreciate you taking time
Yeah.
to be here with us.
Without you, channel doesn't. I mean, channel always comes down, but when we have you,
Makes it so much
makes
easier.
it so much easier because my guys are so eager to tell you the message, so it's just naturally comes down.
So the group energy is beneficial for all sorts of reasons. But just know that we appreciate you.
Thank
All right?
you.
All right, everyone, until next time that we see you and connect with you like this, we send you our love and light from Lemuria. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Aloha.
Aloha.